Well, Ruth is here. We've shivered our way through another bitterly cold day.
It's oncoming, doesn't it? It is still winter, of course, though, so don't put your willies away just yet. In fact, this may be the perfect time to take up a spot of knitting. Look at that. Wow. And knit your own, perhaps. Now, 94-year-old Gladys Mobbs from Wrexham could well be your inspiration. The grandmother of 13 was persuaded to pick up her knitting needles again to help her mental health after her husband died. Since then, she's knitted clothes for thousands of babies and toddlers, raising money for charity in the process. Ian Lang has been to meet her. Wonderful, Gladys. Well, Ian, perhaps not giving up the day job. Any good at knitting yourself? Seems to be the thing to do now, take up knitting, doesn't it? But yes, absolutely. Well done, Gladys. And let me tell you, winter woolies are certainly going to come in handy over the next few days. In case you've forgotten, it is still winter, clinging on out there. And as far as the next few days are concerned, the setup is more of the same. So it is going to feel like winter. It is going to be bitterly cold. And we have ice and sleet and freezing rain to contend with. Now, what is freezing rain? It's not the same as snow. It's basically when rain falls through air that's quite thin. This is a simple explanation. It doesn't have time to freeze until it hits something. So your car windscreen surface, for example, and that means pretty tricky conditions. So we could see some freezing rain tonight. We will certainly see freezing rain tomorrow and into the start of the weekend too. Nasty stuff, and there's plenty more of that to come over the next few days. It's actually heavier than snow, so infrastructure-wise, it's really nasty stuff. And there's little change in our weather story over the next few days either. Winter very much has us in its grip, cold air and showers very much the order of things. Here's that in a little more detail. Well, we're certainly feeling the chill. John, before anybody panics, there are no warnings issued for any of this. It's just going to feel bitterly cold and, well, just like winter. Get the woolies on. Still out there at the moment, frost already developing in many areas. Temperatures dropping like a stone. We could see values of -3, -4 further inland in more sheltered areas. But by the early hours of tomorrow morning, the winds will start to pick up, particularly around coastal areas. The cloud will build and we'll see the first signs of rain starting to show their hand, again out towards parts of the far southwest. So as we wake to Friday morning, for many areas it'll be a cold and frosty start, but we could actually see some slivers of sunshine towards the north and the east in particular. The cloud will pile in across the southwest, and again we'll see a further few showers developing. Nothing too heavy, but with the cold air, it does mean that this rain could fall as freezing rain, as I've been saying, and that is not pleasant stuff by any means. We could also see some icy stretches developing too. Temperatures, if anything, slightly down on today's values. Numbers-wise, highs of just 4 or 5 degrees, and then if you factor in that breeze, it'll feel even colder still. Now you can see just behind me there is a band of rainfall, and this rain will start to work its way in as we head through Friday evening and into the early hours of Saturday. And again, this could well be quite troublesome. We're looking at icy stretches again falling as a wintry mix over the hills and mountains, and then at lower levels this freezing rain that I keep mentioning, which could make for some tricky conditions on the roads if you are heading out and about into the start of the weekend. And then as we head into Sunday, it should be a slightly drier picture. And actually, you'll notice, if anything, temperatures starting to recover, but only just a little bit.